Hey there, it's Cindy Thomas, your career coach and strategist. The Insiders Career Club was recently rated in the top 20 job search podcasts by FeedSpot. Check out their website link. It'll be in the podcast notes. Now, let's meet our special guest. Today's special guest is Kushner. He's a celebrated thought leader, award-winning author, and an innovator in AI-driven personal branding. He has a passion for empowering professionals to excel on LinkedIn. Al has a groundbreaking book. It's called The AI LinkedIn Advantage. Unleash the power of AI and dominate the competition. It's become an essential guide for navigating the modern digital landscape. Through his dynamic energy and clear guidance, Al brings a unique ability to simplify complex, AI-driven concepts, making them accessible and achievable for everyone. Let's welcome him into the show. Al, welcome into the Insiders Career Club podcast. How are you today?
I'm great, Cindy. Hope all is well with you.
It is. I mean, unlike you, back east, we're having a very cool July. So we're supposed to have heat up to 80, at least 80 on the weekend. So why don't we start off with you sharing with us a little about your work background?
Well, I've been active on LinkedIn for the past 20 years, I would say since its infancy, back I think around 2006. And I really enjoyed being on the platform. It's the only social media one that I focus my attention on because it really is something that is a great platform for connecting with people. And I decided to write a book because of AI, and it's been growing in popularity, and figured why not combine both AI and LinkedIn together as a way to help people strategize on the platform. And I'm happy to share my knowledge on this progress.
Since you mentioned the book, tell us the name of it.
It's called the AI LinkedIn Advantage. I'm sure we can see it over here, but
yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can.
Yep. And it's available on Amazon as well as also Spotify for those who listen to audiobooks. Okay. And it really is a great resource for those who are looking to make the most time on LinkedIn, as well as using AI technology to improve engagement, which I find to be essential as part of that platform. So,
okay. So when did you realize that the power of AI, and start utilizing it?
Well, I would say that since it's been around for several years, and I've noticed a lot of new applications became available, in addition to ChatGPT, the Jasper, and a few other platforms. Microsoft has one, and it's been really incredible as a way to create content and give you ideas for content that you can never even imagine. And for me, it was more of a game changer right there because I was able to create articles on the fly, create scripts for videos. It just really been tremendous asset to my growth, I would say.
Okay. All right. How would you say that AI has transformed the way professionals approach their personal branding on LinkedIn?
Well, I'd say that it gives you a useful tool to help to create ideas, to help strengthen branding, because it provides you with so many resources in terms of information that you can provide whoever you're engaging with. It can help you create content, ideas for ebooks, a whole host of things. So it really helps with giving you the ability to make a quality connection and someone to decide whether or not they want to connect with you because they value your information. So that's really what I like about it.
Okay. We talk a lot about optimizing profiles on LinkedIn. So what would you say an optimized profile looks like?
Well, I would say that number one, start with your headshot. It should be a professional headshot, preferably recent, that will kind of give you the image of someone that looks, professional, I would say. With professional lighting, a background be great. That's something that's important that people seem to neglect a lot. In addition, you have a background image or a banner in the back, and you should take advantage of it. Just don't leave it blank, but maybe put something behind it that could represent who you are. It could be a couple of bullet points or anything that's going to showcase your talent. In addition, I would say that underneath your name, you have a way to describe the services that you offer. And with AI technology, you can optimize in a way that certain keywords could be used underneath, because LinkedIn is also a way to people search for whether job opportunities or connections. So if you want to be found on it, you should have the right keywords so it'll be triggered when someone types it in and would come up your profile to the top. I think it's a great thing to get started with.
Okay. And so as far as keywords, you're speaking of words that are pertinent to the industry that you are looking for work in or where you are working, correct?
Yeah, something that would describe the services that you offer, or something that you could use to showcase a certain talent that, an employer may be interested in, a certain skill set, like prompt engineering. If you put that in there, I'm sure you probably get a lot of interest from people, because that is a new hot industry, I would say. And, wouldn't be surprised if you get called upon by Mark Zuckerberg and said, hey, we're hiring.
That's what they're looking for right now, right?
That's the odd thing. So you got to understand, you got to go what's trending. So that certainly will help you make a difference in, quality connections.
Okay. All right. Can you highlight some of the most overlooked profile elements that professionals should rethink? Because a lot of people just post their resume and that's it. So what are some of the elements that they should think on to kind of expand their profiles and make it more interesting and engaging?
Well, certainly you want to be able to convey, I would say, a professional bio that kind of would showcase your particular talent. I would say focus in on any type of accomplishments that you've received, any awards, any volunteer work that you've done. In addition, there are some amazing groups on LinkedIn that you've joined. And that could also be helpful too, because whoever you're connecting with may be part of that group, and it may help you be accepted by that individual because of being part of that group.
Can you talk about storytelling a little bit? How does that play in crafting an effective about section? So you want to tell a story about childhood. I know when I was looking for some execs, a lot of them have, because they want to, they have all the great work skills and management skills as executives, moving up the ranks. But I noticed a lot of them will have something that's more personal that, I knew I wanted to do this since I was a child because of what, this, that, or the other thing. So can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, to be honest with you, when it comes to so-called storytelling, it's not really should be part of your profile for the most part. You could certainly create a newsletter or perhaps a post that you could share an interesting tidbit from your past. But for the most part, look at it as a resume. You're providing information of value. People can care less whether or not you, I don't know, won an award as a kid in an art class, in fifth grade. It may be interesting. I mean, I've done it. I've won an award, but I'm not going to share with people on these things.
Okay.
Because I don't find it relevant to what it is. Because people get a short attention span, and you got to get to the point, and that's really what it's all about. Once they get to know you, of course, then you can always expand upon that, and certainly, provide some of that information. If you're posting frequently, you can also include some of your personal history if you'd like. But I don't think the profile is a place to have it part of.
Okay. All right. Now, do you recommend showcasing your personality without sounding unprofessional? How do you do that?
Well, what you're trying to do is maybe establish yourself as a thought leader. I think you're trying to refer to that and such. So I would say that by creating articles, I think, for your newsletter would be a good starting point. In fact, you could do up to 5 different type of newsletters. I have 5 different type of newsletters because I have certain referral partners that I work with, like accountants or attorneys or financial planners. I have newsletters designated just for those individuals, and they go out each week. So that's something that helps to create the ability or the idea that you're an expert in the area. And that's really what I focus in on. And that's something that a lot of listeners should pay attention to, because that's really the starting point right there.
What are some of the common mistakes that experienced professionals make on LinkedIn that they can work on or avoid in the future?
Very simple. Before you do any outreach, you have to optimize your profile. I mean, that's straight up front. And a lot of them don't want to do that, or they just are anxious and they just want to reach out and they figured this person they want to connect with because they know they could be a good fit. First thing they look at is your, who you are.
Profile.
Here's what it is. And if they see you and they look at your profile and you don't even have a one recommendation, I mean, they're just going to look at you as maybe some kind of spam bot or something, not a real person. So I would focus in on optimizing your profile. And that's what I do with a lot of people. I help them optimize your profile. So when they do an outreach, they'll be accepted. That's the difference. If you're connecting with people, you're going to find out a lot of them may reject you, and that could be not a good thing, particularly on LinkedIn, which the algorithm may consider you as a spammer. So you really got to optimize your profile before you do any type of outreach. That's the first thing.
Can you share a success story of someone that you worked with who used some of the strategies from your book to achieve remarkable results?
Yeah, well, I had a client and he was looking to connect with people who were attorneys as well as financial planners. And he was deciding he wasn't getting much engagement at all for the most part. So we worked together on developing a newsletter that would be of interest to his target audience. So we crafted some ideas for titles, hooks, you might say, to get their attention, and use that a way to start his ability to become a thought leader. And also created videos as well that would help also to raise awareness. And on LinkedIn, most people may not know is that videos are very much appreciated by the algorithm of LinkedIn. So if you do that in a way that will help to increase engagement. As a result of these actions together, both the videos and article creations and content, we were able to increase his followership. I would say up close to 2,000, starting with like only 50 people. Then I would say about 3 weeks time. And it was incredible because he was getting quality connections, not random people who just want to connect, and that's what he's looking for. He was looking for the estate planning attorneys. He was looking for financial planners. And that's who he reached out to. And those are ones who were willing to accept it. And he was able to do that in a way that proved worthwhile his time, because people now every week look forward to his newsletter and reach out to him as a resource when a problem occurs. They think of him first versus the competition.
Probably also gets lots of referrals from that as well, with regard to business. So let's talk about some of the first simple steps that a listener can do to create a standout profile using AI tools. Now, are there any? You had mentioned Microsoft. I forget what it's called. Copilot. That's what it's called. Gemini is for Google. We got ChatGPT. Those are the tools that you're referring to, or are there other tools that you would recommend that they use?
Well, I've got a lot more resources in my book on tools, but just let's say start with those in the meantime, because that'll be a way to at least get a way to understand how to use it. The key thing is creating prompts for those particular platforms, and you want to be able to create something that will get a meaningful output from the AI. And a lot of people really are not good at when it comes to writing prompts. Okay. So you really want to create a
prompt to the novice. What a prompt is.
Very simple. Let's say you are want to respond to a influencer on LinkedIn. And what you'll do is you'll get the information of the individual's post, and you'll ask the AI technology to reply to this particular post in a way that is informative, in a casual tone, and ask a question that would help to expand upon that influencer's post that may be relevant. And that's a type of prompt you can use, and then AI will go ahead and create a reply to the influencer with what you requested, and even ask a question, and then you can do it in a way that looks that it's sincere and authentic. And that's something that is tremendous, because that's what a lot of people lose out on when it comes to AI. They just take the raw information and just regurgitate it back, and it doesn't look authentic. But by using the prompts, you'll find that the authenticity is there. And that's something that's going to help with engagement, and you, of course, establishes as a thought leader. That individual influencers may have followers, and those followers may decide to follow you.
Exactly.
that particular thing. So guess what? By
Mhm.
association. And that influencer is compelled to reply to your question. And guess what? If they don't, they're looked at as you might say, not concerned, not caring at all.
Mhm.
A lot of these people ghost and post, and that's not what you want to do. You want to
Mhm.
engage with, your followers. And as with anything, that's going to make a difference in the ability to gain followers, to become an influencer yourself. And that's really going to be ideal for growing your LinkedIn profile.
And I think that's very key because if you're reaching out to someone on LinkedIn, you're expecting an answer. And if they ignore you, you're like, what? So if you've posted something that you are trying to get people interested in and somebody responds to you and you don't respond back, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I get questions about this and that and whatever, and I'm always mindful to answer them, even if it's just, well, no, I'm not interested in that, or I get lots of inquiries, or, what do I do? How do I start this? What do I do? I'm looking for a job. I give people just some basic points to start with and get them started. And a lot of people won't take the time to answer you back or follow through. So,
And that's a shame too, because I've seen a lot of this out there in
mhm,
my replies. And if I post something, I'm certainly going to reply back to that individual. And I think that's where a lot of the influence kind of lose touch or out of touch because they're not really actually even doing it themselves, I would think, for the most part. I mean, sure. I mean, if you got thousands of, followers and you can't maybe answer every question out there, but I would think that ones that are pertinent would be value to increasing perhaps the viral aspect of that post. That's
mhm,
something that the algorithm loves as much. If something's getting a lot of engagement and a question is being raised, that can actually help the influencer expand its reach because
mhm.
it's about that. So that's what I always recommend.
Let's talk about the other parts of your career because, yes, you've written a book, but you've also written more than one. And you do a lot of different aspects to your business. So, would you talk to us about that?
Well, I guess when I started in the industry, I was working as an insurance agent at the time. And for me, it was a different period where there was no internet and there was really calls that you can make without any answering machines for the most part. This is back in the day. And the good old days, you might say. And so I've grown from that because I've always worked for myself. And I found that by, growing in the area of sales and marketing with insurance, it helped me to understand about relationships with people, customer, because I was always dealing with customers all the time and
Mhm,
had to be able to be available for them and respond as quickly as possible. And when I decided to go forward with using the internet, it was something that was an interesting, platform. And I think back in 2006, when LinkedIn came about, it was a natural fit because it was all about relationship building. And that's something
mhm,
that kind of tied into what I was doing. And I've grown tremendously since then because of Microsoft taking over and really improving the platform. It was really to increase engagement and work with a lot of referral partners that I never could have done in the past, as well as printing books, which were really something that was only done about 10 years ago when I started. And I say that the technology has improved tremendously. And now you can produce books that are as good as you would find on a bookshelf that are professionally written. And the idea is that I can become a thought leader by using my information. And a
mhm,
lot of organizations were reaching out to me to do speaking engagements because of the fact that I was providing a value to their members. And this was great. So I couldn't have done it without the advancements of technology nowadays, even creating an audiobook, which was very challenging. But nowadays it's so much easier, especially with AI technology. So it's
mhm.
incredible the way things have changed.
So what are some of the challenges in doing an audiobook?
Well, back in the day, audiobooks were something, I think, before it was like books on tape,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. And you would have to either do it yourself or hire a voice talent. And a lot of the books that I've done in the past, I was hiring a voice talent because the fact is that these are professionals, they know what they're doing, and it takes a lot of time and effort to do these things. There is certainly, I give them a lot of credit for the ability to do that because there's so many takes, and if you get it wrong, you got to redo it again, and it's really challenging. But the end result is that you'll have something that a lot of people are listening to, especially nowadays. They listen to podcasts, audiobooks has been very growing field. And I decided that there's got to be a better way to do this. And I decided that with my most recent book, why not use AI technology for that? And I did. And I was so impressed by the outcome of it, of the voice and how perfect it sounded. It was truly amazing and shocking that.
Oh, interesting.
So what normally would cost me hundreds or maybe thousands of dollars to produce, costs very minimal and provided something that was worthwhile. A lot of people, would go against that. They say, oh, well, we want you to use your voice. And the fact is that people want information that's of value to them. They don't care really who is the voice behind
Who's doing it to them?
Unless you get a Morgan Freeman or something to do it for you. I mean, something that's recognizable, but I don't get the money for that. But nowadays I heard that you have deep fakes out there. You can imagine they can do anybody.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, they really can. I always kind of worry about that. If, you get too famous, somebody's going to steal your image and, you're going to end up on the internet saying something you didn't say. So having your image say something you didn't say. Yeah. Wow, interesting. Okay. I was thinking that you had done it yourself and you said it was challenging, that you had done it yourself. And
the
whole process. Yeah.
I wrote the information, the script itself, but I don't need to be the person reading the script. And that's how I realized that there really doesn't matter. It's the information that people are listening to. And I have a great voice for audio. The fact is, I'd rather use my voice for other purposes like a podcast, which I'm developing right now. For me, that would be the best use of my time, which I think.
I was thinking about that as I was preparing my little office here for the recording. I was like, he should do a podcast. And you're already working on it. So,
yeah. So, but I think this is definitely a growing industry. Certainly podcasting and audiobooks is certainly going to be around. And the fact is that people are listening to our information probably by doing other things, whether they're driving the car or in the gym. And they want
washing dishes, whatever, doing housework, whatever they're doing.
Yeah, for them, they're not sticklers. They just want the information that's going to be of value and that's going to be resourceful. And that's what we try to provide over here through this program. So hopefully this will be good.
Absolutely. When you were speaking earlier about realizing when you found LinkedIn that it was all about relationships and that relationship building, and that was what kind of drew you in. I think that's a very valid viewpoint that people don't think about it. They just think about it as a tool. I'm going to throw it up there. I'm going to throw my information up there and hope that somebody responds. And I think if you think about it the way that you just expressed about building relationships, it might help guide them to create a profile that is more informational to the individual that's going to be reading it. And you're making sure that you're including those pieces of information that will draw people in. And I really like the way just expressing that to the audience, because I don't think people think of it so much that way. And that's what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's, like I said, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression.
No, you don't.
So if you don't take the time to optimize your profile, you're not going to get the engagement you're looking for, and you're going to find yourself frustrating and not making connections and give up altogether. And that's not the thing you don't want to do.
Absolutely. And as a former director of talent acquisition and years of being a recruiter, when you're going through a profile or resume and you're looking for the keywords you're talking about, you get very good at it. Now AI does it, but there are still smaller companies that don't use AI. And for me, when I was going through resumes, it took me about 5-10 seconds at max to just see if something's there that I want to delve into
Right.
more. And so you got to make sure that information is there on your profile and your resume if you want to get some callbacks.
Yeah, well, that's something that's going to be, and give value to whoever you want to connect with. So if you're looking for a potential an employer, you want to show the employer that you're a little bit more than just a resume. You're a person that does volunteer work. You're a person that maybe won an award, or a person who's got recommendations from past people they work with. These are things that are crucial for being hired, because it's just showing that you're offering a value that's beyond just a resume, that you could be someone that could help their company grow. And that could be the difference of you getting the work versus someone else.
Yes, it's always when I was looking further and deeper and really reading, you're looking for a progression of skills. You're looking for a progression of experience, but you're also looking for accomplishments, what that was. And so those are things that if you are doing your profile on LinkedIn, yes, the recommendations are good, but you also have to have the goods and the written part and the content part of your profile to make people interested in you and really want to take a look and possibly reach out.
Yeah. And also the groups you're in as well could also make a difference too.
Absolutely.
And if you're active as well, that helps. This is all about, being competitive, because that's exactly what's going to be comparing you to other people. So see, you're active in groups and you're posting and you're creating videos. They're going to be very interested because it really humanizes you in that.
Well, we learn from each other, right? We learn from each other in these groups. You hear what's going on. You hear what people are going through in their interviews, or you hear new trends coming out, or what people are doing to keep up with the trends, or the latest technology, or the latest application. Something that if you're in groups, and not just general groups, but specialized groups to your profession, you're going to be able to stay up a little more on what's going on in the industry and learn from that and keep yourself and go, oh, well, maybe I need to check that out. So those are great to be parts of groups and to be active in. Just don't be a looky-loo. What's the one mindset shift that professionals need to continue to stand out and stay ahead on LinkedIn?
What professionals? Well, they're always constantly learning, I would say. Listen to audiobooks and maybe podcasts to help enrich your skills. If you're looking to learn a new type of skill, there are a lot of great courses that could be taken, or you can work with a professional coach if you're looking to develop a certain mindset. Invest in yourself. If you're making money, put at least 5% of that back into investing in yourself, whether it's taking courses, whether it's working with a coach one-on-one. These things are going to help you become better at what you do. The fact is that you're always going to be current. If you want to stay current, you have to invest money into yourself in order to achieve the results you're looking for. And I do that all the time. I constantly listen to audiobooks and always up to date on what's happening, whether it's marketing or with leadership. Look what's out there and what means more to people, being current.
Yeah, I do as well. And I very much believe, I'm going to piggyback on that. I very much believe on investing in yourself. You can't wait for your employer to do it. It's great if your employer will, but if they do not, you still have to invest in yourself because you're responsible for your career. And you don't have to do it all at once. You can do it gradually, but just make sure that you're continually adding to your bag of skills and experience, even if you have to volunteer to find the experience. Invest in you because you're going to reap the benefits of it. And I very much agree with what you said. You shared at the beginning where people can find your book. Share that again, share the title, and also share your website. And there we go. The LinkedIn Advantage by Al Kushner.
The AI LinkedIn Advantage.
Yeah. AI, sorry. It's kind of small on the recording here. The AI LinkedIn Advantage. And I would recommend you get the book, support Al, connect with him or follow him because you have so many people people are following you now.
I've got my website they can check out, linkedvantage.com.
Okay.
I also giving away a free ebook on how to optimize your profile. So go to my website. You'll be able to check out the ebook, and there are courses available as well if you want to learn how to optimize your profile or how to focus in on outreach. And reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. I'm always looking for connecting with people who are interesting.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, Al, thank you so much for spending time with me this morning. You shared a lot that the listeners can really take advantage of. And I will put all your information in the notes as well so people can find you when they find the podcast.
Thank you, Sindy. Appreciate the opportunity.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, stay cool back there. I hope it cools off for you soon. All right. Take care. Did you enjoy the show? Well, keep listening and don't forget to like us. If you've been laid off or downsized or need a career pivot, if you need resume help or to sharpen your interview skills, I can help you. Set up a complimentary 20-minute call with me on my website at www.insiderscareerclub.com. Until next time, may God bless you, keep you, and make his face to shine upon you. Take care.